The soundtrack that I have been playing these past couple of days is very nostalgic for me. This is just if you've played the game Skate 3, you know what I'm talking about. Almost Ready by Dinosaur Jr. Banger. Love that song. What a fun game, too. Skate 3. The new Skate 3. Come on. And if you got the DLC, there was the Hawaiian Dream map pack. I remember that on the Xbox 360. I remember finding out about Skate 3 through the Xbox Live Marketplace, and they had a demo for it, and you could play, like, 20 minutes of it, like and then it would c time out, and you'd have to, like, s I think install it again or just, like, reset it, like, you lost what you were doing, you just had to restart, like, it was a 20-minute cap. Like, I remember going to GameStop and buying that game, like, for my birthday. A very, very, very fun game, and then when you do, like, multiplayer and stuff in the Hall of Meat mode where you just throw yourself off a bridge or something, like, it's fun. It's just a good time. Dinosaur Jr. and, like, man, that's something I wanna learn how to do one day. I wanna learn how to skateboard, but I'm kind of afraid, I don't wanna break my arm, like but I suppose that is a risk, like with anything that you must take when you do new things. You fall and then you get back up. And I think that kinda speaks to what, you know, my continual process of understanding and growth is for anybody really that wants to get better is recognizing that it's not like this. It's just not. You go like that and then maybe like that or just like this, like but every day you do want to grow and get better, like or you try and not beat yourself up if you fail. I think that's where the difference between like wisdom and intelligence comes into play. I mentioned it in the last video regarding how a lot of people would call me smart or intelligent based off of my grades, which I wholeheartedly disagree with. Um, you know, and especially in my career as a teacher, my interpretation of intelligence, knowledge, wisdom, they're different. And the way children or anybody learns is different from another person in some way. And therefore, an indicator of intelligence or understanding isn't or shouldn't be necessarily confined to a score or some sort of benchmark. I mean, I can understand it in principle and in a sense, but at the same time, true wisdom is something that is so dynamic. There's rebirth and death and life in life. Ooh, there's a giant ant on my desk. I don't want to hurt him. I want to put him outside, but you know what? He's just climb on my water bottle. Just do okay, he's scared. He's just running back, whatever. Whatever. I forgot what I was saying. No, but just about intelligence. Like there are many different types of what we would call intelligence or knowledge, and the way people express that knowledge is radically different. To understand something, brain processes information in different ways, and people interpret things and see things differently, which is why art is so cool because you can have an image and then give everybody the freedom to draw it or interpret it their own way. Some people may do realism, some people may make it an abstract concept. Some people might make that object, they might resonate it with it in a certain way and make it a song. Like to tell a person, "Oh, you can only use a number 2 pencil on this piece of paper" is extremely limiting. I don't know about you, but when I use a really good pen, I just love to write. Like if I'm using like a pen that I don't feel I don't feel it in a certain way, and that's why when I write, like, when I write poetry and things, like, I have to use, like, my pen. Like, I can't use, like, another pen. Like, I have to like, I don't know. Like, for me, I just have like, I conceptualize a principle even with drawing or photography. Like, I love those mediums as well, but, sometimes it is spur of the moment, but sometimes, like, I'll pull up my phone and just, like, type in, like, a note, like, a word or 2 words that I'm, like throughout my day is, like, in the background, it's, like, processing and trying to work and manipulate what's gonna come out, like and then it's just, like, it comes out in the way that I feel like it needs to. Sometimes it's spur of the moment, sometimes I have to sit there. I really one of my favorite sort of artists is Kurt Cobain. Kurt Cobain was a genius. Like the album In Utero, it was very raw and it was on purpose to show sort of the imperfections within art itself, which makes it in a way better art. Um, that album, really good album. Really highly recommend it. I really like Nirvana, so and I mean, I hear a lot of people say like, "Oh, I'm not this." Like anytime I talk to somebody about art, right? People are like, "Oh, I could never do that. I'm not creative." And I just I would there's the ant again. Go 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 go. You're in the paint, brother. Like you just all right. You just stay over there. I'm not Oh, he's on my wait. Where is he? Look. He's on my paintbrush. He's just chilling. All right, buddy. You go over there. You're fine. Oh, he's climbing on me now. No, he's not. He's good. Sorry, I got distracted by an ant. Ants are cool. Have you ever seen an ant farm? The way they make their little tunnels and stuff. It's so cool. Ants like have like all of these different like traits, like in terms of like different roles that are assigned to them, and it's really cool. It's it's really cool. I used to show my students ants, like not ones that I picked up, but like in ant farms and stuff. And that's another thing, right? Like I'm going all over the place, but I was distracted by an ant. Um, when I was a teacher, the way kids express themselves, right? Like I wouldn't care if a kid used a purple crayon to write. It didn't matter to me. Like kind of going back to the pen thing. Maybe a kid's favorite color is purple. I love purple. I have purple. Like I love it. Like purple is cool. Purple's a cool color. The history of purple, like have you ever heard of the history of? It's a very royal color, but for a reason. There's a cool story about that. Um but anyways, like if a kid wanted to use a purple crayon, like I wouldn't think it was a big deal. Right? Like I wouldn't care. Like if that student manifested their ideas with wax as opposed to graphite, like really what does it matter? Like what does it matter? Really? Like when I taught kids how to write, for example, like in first grade, they're learning concepts of print. They're learning how to make letters, holding I mean, I used to use Play-Doh for like tactile, gripping so that the kids could develop their hands and be able to hold a pencil because some kids may not have the finger or hand strength or hand coordination yet to be able to hold a pencil a certain way. Like you would have kids that will hold pencils like this or try to grab it like this and then you just kind of help them flow into the way like you can move a pencil with your fingers like like you gotta like develop that sort of coordination a kinesthetic intelligence, right? Kids are developing kinesthetic intelligence and awareness with the body and their hands. Like they're like and then they just, they're like learning that they exist, right? They're kind of just like it's really it's anyways, when you're teaching a kid concepts of print and teaching them letters and letter formation, for example, like I would waste so much. I don't think it was a waste of time, but the people above me and around me didn't really appreciate it. But like I taught the kids the power of being able to just draw a line, right? Like the ability for a person to be able to take an object and inscribe a line. And in the history of written thought and language just in general, transcription of any sort of idea. It doesn't matter point in history. People used to write runes in Elder Fulthark, and it would be literally like little symbols that held profound meaning. And what I would tell my kids, I did this little activity with them where I put up like a table of like ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics that were written in different things like, stone. And when a kid matched up a symbol with a letter in their language or in English alphabet, or an idea, I don't know what that was. They understand the power inherently held within a symbol. And a letter in the English alphabet is no different than any other symbol. It's just a form of expression, of language, of thought. The ability for people to take thoughts and put them onto paper is an incredible gift. Writing is a beautiful art, and people manifest that in so many different ways with poetry, with stories, novels, comics. Like, it doesn't matter. Just the idea of putting something that you thought of onto paper for other people to read is incredibly powerful. And when a kid starts to see the connection between it all, that's what motivates them to learn and develop their intelligence with kinesthetic intelligence and the ability and motivation to learn for the process of learning, because the inherent curiosity and capability of a child is incredible. Their brain is developing at such a rate, and all these different pathways are emerging and due to brain plasticity. And their brain is creating new things all the time. Like, you go to, like I mentioned, I work at a dollar store, right? I'll see kids come in and parents come in. The kids hold a bag of chips like Doritos. They just like hold it and are just like looking at it and putting it in the light and watching the reflection and shaking it and hearing it. They're curious. They're learning things. And, you'll have the parent just dead set on whatever they're doing, just caught up in their head and not in the present moment and just taking in what's going on. Like, there's people at the dollar store that I work at, they'll come in. I can't tell you how many people come in and they're just like, man, I bought more than I thought I would. It's like the impulse. They're not thinking about why they need that. What is that for? Like, they're just doing it, and they're not like present in the moment. Like, what do I actually need right now? What do I want? And what do I need? Can I afford? Like, there's thoughts that go into it. Like, being aware of things and being in the present moment, it could be seen as a spiritual intelligence in a way, a sort of connection with the divine, that maintaining yourself in the present moment and trusting and letting go of your worries is a different kind of intelligence. Um, so for somebody to tell me that I'm smart, I understand that people think differently, right? They do. Like, I mean, general consensus, people would use the word smart to describe somebody who like knows stuff, right? Like, but that's like that's like the way people say how are you in public, right? Most people aren't actually saying it because they care. They're just saying it because it's part of the script that everybody follows, right? Like, at work, hey, how you doing? Oh, hanging in there. Like, when you tell somebody how you're actually doing, they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. And I feel like deep down, a lot of people just actually want to say how they actually are doing, but are afraid to because they're afraid about how the other person's going to react. Many people wear a mask in society. Many people just operate like they don't let anybody in. They don't show themselves. Like, they're just everybody has like this sort of script that they follow. And everybody follows it. Or most people do, right? Like, they take off the mask and just be real with people. Be vulnerable. Like, the idea of life. the idea that there's over 7 billion of us, how I don't even know how many there are now, but billions of people, right? All on this earth doing their own thing in their own heads or not every day. And somehow we're on this beautiful mud ball in a ever expanding cosmos in the universe. And we're all just trying to figure it out. Nobody truly knows what they're doing. And that's another thing about spiritualism. Like recognizing that you won't ever become completely enlightened because it's not the point. It's rebirth and death in life. It's just growth and decline, life and decay. Towards understanding. But the divine is something that could not be fully understood. I mean, I feel like I sort of interpret the world in sort of a Neoplatonistic sort of philosophical lens. There's very influential figures like I'll show my phone. I don't know if you can see that person. It's kind of this is Hypatia. Hypatia is an incredible sort of mind throughout history. And this is a very famous painting too. I highly recommend. I don't really want to go into that right now. Maybe I'll talk about it eventually. But Neoplatonistic thought and Hypatia, um, not even just that. You know, her own sort of paganistic ideologies and an eclectic view of the world, not confined to one sort of lane. You know, a brilliant mind in a time where women were silenced, and in a way they still are. In a lot of ways they are. Uh, Having your own thought and having intelligence, wisdom, and being humble enough to know that you will never know everything, and that the smartest people or the wisest people are the ones that admit that they know nothing. That I believe was Socrates. The loudest ones in the room are often the most insecure. And that's not necessarily mean that you have to be silent, but words are powerful. Words are very powerful. And I've learned that both through saying very kind things to people and very hurtful things to people because I'm a human and I make mistakes. And there's nobody that I know who has never said something hurtful to somebody. It's the process of being humble and understanding your vulnerabilities. That's intelligence too. There's so many forms. So I think with all of this being said, and sort of the ultimate point, don't define yourself. And this is, I guess, alluding to the last video as well. Don't define yourself based on what other people tell you you are, right? You have to develop a trust within yourself, a love for yourself, and trust in your wisdom and what you feel like you need to do to be better every day. Don't follow the herd. Be yourself, love yourself. There is no greater friend than yourself. You are directly in control, if you believe in the divine, in conjunction with them, of how you treat yourself and what thoughts you think. If you are worried about something, if you are so focused on comparing yourself to other people, oh, they have a girlfriend, oh, they have a boyfriend, they're getting married, they have kids, I don't have a house, I live with my parents, whatever the case, look within yourself and trust and let go. You're gonna be okay. I like I have to tell myself this every day too. So this is just as much for me as it is for you. You're gonna be okay. Maintain presence. At any moment, you can step back from your thoughts and just look at them and say, huh, I wonder why I'm thinking that. Metacognition and intelligence. Metacognitive intelligence is incredible too. The ability to look at your thoughts, not just be in your thoughts, but look at them and be with them. Experience the pain. When people cry, they want to stop crying. No, feel it. Feel how it feels to feel sad. Rest in that. That's a very real feeling. And you need to embrace that and understand, why are you feeling that way? You need to connect with all of your feelings. Don't run away from your feelings, confront them. That's like shadow work. Like being intelligent enough to understand that you're not okay and you're lying to yourself. You're too busy wearing the mask. You got to take it off. It's okay, just take it off. Why are you afraid to take off the mask? What's stopping you? And there could be other people, but again, you have yourself, your best friends always with you, right? Like, doesn't matter who leaves. You got your best friend with you at all times. And then, if you believe in something, like if you believe in a god or gods, I don't profess any sort of one religion or belief pattern because it's not mine. Like when I work with people with tarot and work with runes, I don't charge money. I know people that charge a lot of money for those services, right? Tarot, for example, is a very intuitive, in depth, very deep personal thing. And people pay a lot of money to have another person give them that guidance. But God and the divine is within you already. You have a direct pipeline to it, to whatever you believe. And so when I do tarot for somebody at the end of the session, I always say, listen, these are messages that you can find. Buy your own tarot deck. Go on Etsy, buy a cool one, wherever you want to get them. I got my tarot decks at a tattoo convention, actually. Like, trust in yourself. Talk, talk to them. Talk to spirit. Like, you're going to be okay. You don't need to spend like 200 bucks to have somebody do it for you. You could do it yourself. You have that power. And believe in yourself. Love yourself and trust in the intuition, cuz it will spirit will communicate with you. The divine will communicate because you're trusting yourself and therefore trusting in the divine. And that's how you get the messages. Like, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. Just go in nature. Just honestly, go take a walk, like in nature. Like, parks are fine, but like if there's a path, like in a trail, do that and just bring a bottle of water or like your favorite snack and, clean up, of course, if they allow snacks and stuff, and just listen to music. Bring your headphones and just keep one open or have a backpack with a speaker in it and just like play it low. I don't, don't scare all the animals, but like you don't need to be blasting, I don't know, Kublai Khan at full blast at 11. Like you're gonna, I don't know. That's I don't know. I don't like that. But like maybe at 3, you'll hear him screaming quietly, a whisper scream, and just connect with it. Just be with it. And that's intelligence. The intelligence of the self as well. Wisdom. They say sometimes a tree is more authentic and connected with the actual truths of the world. I think that was a bird. That's a bird. The genuine essence of the world, pure, rooted in the ground and in life itself. Stability. That tree is not asking for much. It provides shade, it provides life for animals. It lives and exists in the roots in the ground in the soil, and they work together in a beautiful relationship. In a cycle of rebirth and death in the fall and the seasons. And people are chopping them down to make money or whatever. Look at the rings in a tree. It's the age of the tree. Very, very ancient, like the wrinkles of an old man, the gnarled sort of crags and ridges within an old tree. It's character. It's character. You ever just see like an old guy out in public and he just you know he was he still is like he's seen some stuff. He's been to some wild parties or something. Like he knows. There's some old wisdom. I sometimes call them oak elders. Oak elders. Like a I don't know. I think of colors like mahogany when I think of that. Wise and strong, but not overtly loud about it. Just very wise. There's wisdom in silence and intelligence in understanding silence. This video is 26 minutes now. I'm going to end it, but until next time, I really wish you well. Trust in yourself, sending good energy to you, and I'll see you next time. Take care.